my research for wild 90s crossovers, I came across some pretty creative uses for merging two distinct properties into a single episode of entertainment. Some good and some bad. But one thing that stuck out in this next piece is just how many crossovers these characters have had, despite being seen as a source of corruption of my youth. It's everyone's favorite fart knockers, Beavis and Butthead.
Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law.
To the annoyance and horror of parents in the 90s, Beavis and Butthead were hard to ignore. They were rude, perverted, and had not one redeeming quality between them.
Did he just say quit jumping on my balls?
Yeah, quit jumping on my balls.
But that didn't stop them from showing up in other pop culture spaces. Some of those appearances were mundane and involved characters from other shows just watching an episode of Beavis and Butthead, like MTV's The Max, Chandelier and Joey from Friends, and even Josh and Cher in Clueless. Not surprising, MTV would be the place you'd find most of their crossover appearances. From the underrated cult classic The Head, great show by the way, to the short-lived acid trip of a show called The Brother Grunt, made by future Ed, and Eddie creator Danny Antonucci. Like that name, Antonucci. But let's get into the more real-life crossovers of our favorite butt munchers. Earlier this year, we were treated to a decent appearance of Beavis and Butthead on Saturday Night Live, played by Ryan Gosling and Mikey Day. This version took our expectations of the iconic characters and flipped the script. Gone are the crude jokes, incessant laughing, and any mention of boobs.
This chick has 3 boobs.
That's pretty cool. How many butts does she have?
Instead, we were left with two well-spoken dudes who happened to look like Beavis and Butthead. I laughed, but I'm looking for something much closer to a real crossover than this.
We're looking for the chick with big boobs.
Yeah, we are ready to do you now.
In the 90s, TGIF mainstay Step by Step had two recurring characters that were about as close to the real-life Beavis and Butthead as one could get, and still be considered family-friendly. Why choose these two characters to do a parody of is beyond me, but the effort paid off.
Old dude. It's Butthead.
As I look closer, you are definitely a butthead.
Showing up in several episodes throughout the series was always fun, if not tame, but they did say boobs, so...
She said boobs.
Plus, they had the mannerisms and the look mostly nailed down. However, they had the unfortunate luck of being named Gary and Larry, so not a true crossover, but we're getting close. Of all the places you would expect to find Beavis and Butthead references, the kids' TV show Arthur was not one that I'd expect, and not just one episode, but two. Now, granted, these are more parodies, but the references were certainly for the adults that were watching with their kids. In one episode, we're introduced to the cool kids' favorite comic characters, P-Brain and Nuthead. That's an unfortunate name, but they've got the look. In another episode of Arthur that is rife with pop culture TV references, we see two characters making fun of Muffy while she struts down a catwalk.
Hey, look, it's the 5th Teletubby.
An unexpected surprise in a kid's show, but a welcomed one. Just want to give it a hug. Let me hug you, Arthur, you aardvark. But I'm still needing a true crossover, and so many we've seen throughout the past few years have just been references. I want the real Beavis and Butthead to show up. Now, don't lose hope, dudes. It has happened. And honestly, it couldn't have happened in a more appropriate universe. The time? 1994. Missed that year. Who was the crossover with? Do the names Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, Buscemi, Steve Buscemi, Steve Buscemi.
Never heard of him, dude.
The time? 1994. Who was the crossover with? Well, do the names Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, and Steve Buscemi? I don't think I've ever heard that name pronounced out loud. Do those ring a bell? Do you know what the place is? The movie Airheads. And now it's not live action versions or a weird Roger Rabbit style crossover into our reality. The duo do make an appearance, doing what they do best, mocking the musical talents of the fictional band The Lone Rangers.
The Lone Rangers?
What's wrong with that?
Well, there's 3 of you. You're not exactly lone.
No idea what you're saying right now.
While the local radio station is taken hostage in a standoff by the aforementioned Lone Rangers, the pair call in to tell them how much their music sucks, likely from the comfort of their nacho cheese-stained couch. Can't believe I did that.
You're on the air.
Whoa. Am I on the air?
Come on, Brian, give me the phone.
Am I speaking English? What'd I just say, dipshit?
You guys are like the Lone Rangers, right?
Yeah.
We saw you guys at the Wheel Well last month. You suck. Hey, why don't you guys make all the chicks get naked?
Yeah.
Sure, it's just their voices, but it works really well. And surprisingly, I think Beavis and Butthead hold the record for 90s character crossovers, but let's check in with the I Miss the 90s data scientists for the official tally. Guys?
So then he said...
What were we supposed to do?
It's the Beavis and Butthead thing.
Oh, you're supposed...
I don't know, man. I was on lunch. Just say yes. God, he's so annoying.
Is this the record?
Yes.
It's so wild to me that Beavis and Butthead, admittedly low-effort caricatures of 90s teens, crossed over into some of the most unexpected places, but gotta hand it to them, it works. And that's gonna do it for this whole series of weird 90s crossovers and one from 2000. Got written up for that, but it's fine. I'm a bad boy. I hope you enjoyed these crossovers as much as I did, and I highly recommend you check out all of them or any of them. You can find them somewhere on the internet. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Maybe you like the ones that I don't like, and maybe you don't like the ones that I do. It's okay. We're allowed to have differences of opinion on movies, but not on whether or not pineapple belongs on a pizza. It does. Okay? If you disagree, you're wrong. Sorry. But that's going to do it for this series. I highly recommend all that stuff I already recommended. So, until next time, dudes, I'm Mike O'Connor. Later. Okay. Hope that was good.